Right, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to F1. This week it is France. Joining me again is Lee Cole. How you doing, mate?
I'm all good, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Just have to do a quick tactical controller change because it was dying. Yeah.
Nothing is surviving in this heat, apparently.
Definitely not, way too hot. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Dutch is back for today. How do you think he'll get on?
Well, based on what happened last week, where the two prancing horses simply bolted into the distance and had a fight amongst themselves, I think we really need him to take the fight to them both, really. He's a two-time series champion, so if anybody can do, then he's probably the man to do it.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I mean that battle was a fantastic one to watch last week, but like I say, hopefully Dutch can come back with a bit of a bang and get up there and fight in those Ferraris, because we definitely don't just want to see those two run away with it again.
No, I mean I think we were probably robbed of Panda being in amongst that battle as well after the contact and spin on the first lap, thanks to his teammates deciding that he didn't want him to take all the glory. Obviously Aaron starting at the back this week as a penalty, so
Yep.
hopefully they should keep Panda safe in the first couple of corners at least. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because I think because Panda was so quick around Bahrain, I think he probably would have been there or thereabouts with the two Ferraris had he not have had that spin and obviously damage on the first lap. So fingers crossed it's a bit cleaner this time and everybody gets around in one piece.
Yeah, and I've just seen a comment in the stream as well from Paul or Pagani. Apparently Panda's been doing quite a bit of practice and looks very quick, so.
So yeah, he's been doing a lot of practice on games this week. So we saw a bit of return to form on GT Sport from him as well, didn't we? He set himself a pole position on and P2 at Goodwood. So he's been sweating hard this week.
Experienced. Yeah, only 14 drivers again today, because similar to last week, there's still a few guys on holiday, so hopefully they'll be back soon.
Yeah, come on guys, sort your priorities out. We've got racing to be done here, guys, come on.
Just take your PlayStation with you,
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure all these hotels have got free Wi-Fi, free internet, it'll be fine.
If not, I'm sure there's a McDonald's somewhere.
Yeah.
McDonald's everywhere nowadays.
Indeed. I've just got visions. I mean, I watched a video of Igor Fraga, who's obviously one of the best in the world at GT Sport. There was a video of him racing in his kitchen on the weirdest little setup. He had a little small TV on top of a little cabinet, sat there with a kitchen chair with his wheel, and it was just so. If he could do that, then there's absolutely no reason that these guys can't be sat in a McDonald's doing exactly the same sort of thing.
Exactly. Well, Dutch is starting his first flying lap of the season. Ravers puts in the first actual time of the session, which is a 1:30.9. Let's quickly pull up the tyres.
So he showed some good form last week, Ravers. Put some good battles in, and a strong result from him. So hopefully more of the same this week.
Yeah, you didn't.
Definitely a favourite with the guys in the lobbies. So yeah, he's
nope.
Already
yellow flags. Andy. There's a left, so he must have disconnected. I don't think that would have caused the yellow flag. So Aaron has retired. Was he in the pits? I think he was already in the pits. So
yeah, he was there. I think just taking his penalty, for which he grassed himself up for. So they're very, very honest there.
I mean, did Aaron do a lap? Because if he didn't do a lap, his setup wouldn't save, would it?
I think he came out and did an outlap and gone back in again.
Right. Okay. Right.
So yeah,
that's all right. that would have been a double whammy if he'd not even sorted his setup out and just retired.
Definitely not what you want to do. So,
yeah. What do you think of France then?
Yeah, it's a very historic F1 venue, but I think a lot of people do not like it in its current formats. Obviously, it's been turned into a bit of a test track, so a lot of the run-off areas, the grass verges have all gone, just replaced by the tarmac. So the biggest challenge here is really knowing where the track is more than anything. But you know, it's some long straights, which should provide plenty of DRS overtakes. Some tight, twisty initial first sector as well. So there's places to overtake around here, and hopefully there'll be some good racing.
Yeah, the lights are about to come on. Obviously, we've not got the updated pit lane on this one quite yet, which is a bit unfortunate.
No, but it's okay because Matt Course isn't here this week, so it's okay.
Ooh, burn. Yeah, would have been nice to get the FTRL race with the updated track, but nevertheless, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yes, Pagani's just pointed out that ERS is critical around here because obviously there's not many heavy braking zones, so how you deploy or when you deploy your ERS is going to be a lot more crucial around here than say last week at Bahrain, where there's a lot of heavy braking points to regen the battery. Here there just aren't many. There's sort of like small, low braking zones, but yeah, there's not those big heavy ones, so how people manage their ERS could come into play here more as much as tyres.
It's good to see with the recent update as well that the ERS saving lights on the back of the cars now actually work. I mean, it might have been working for you guys. I think it was just a thing with a PS4 Pro, but it's nice to see from a spectator view now the cars looking like, you know, they should.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. So most people now, apart from Co-Andy and Lennon, set their first lap times, and Ravers is still top of the pile. And by quite a margin, over half a second up on Dutch Tricks currently. A lot of people in 32 though, so I don't know if people have really got their cars hooked up just yet. Willie Tix is cruising through the infield there. I think he's going back to the pit. I think he's just getting out of everybody's way there.
Yeah, Willie Tix. So far, Ravers, Willie Tix onto the podium and blue flag, the only driver setting times on the soft tyre. Everybody else sticking with the hard tyre at the moment, just getting their getting a few banker laps in. T1000 Zach though, all the way down in 7th. I mean, maybe he's not pushing quite as much yet. Just trying to throw everybody off the scent.
Just the first laps, maybe just get a sighter in, get your eye back in, and then I imagine he'll come back out again yet. It looked like he was on the hards anyway, so it's probably playing into the long game in terms of the strategy. Like I say, a lot of people are qualifying on the hards here, so expecting them to be going for a one-stopper. Hard to probably medium. So tyre wear probably not quite as severe around here. It's quite a smooth surface, but quite a lot of long corners on the power. So just watching Tico there as he heads round into the back straights. So yeah, the front left it's going to take a bit of a battering around some of the corners around here. So that could be the tyre to keep an eye on as the race progresses.
Yeah, well, Donzo in the chat with Ravers has put some sweat into this one. Ascom's podium. I mean, if Ravers could get a podium at any point this season, I think he's either everybody in front of him's crashed, or he's had a fantastic race.
Well, you don't know. So the new game, I think it caught a few people out last week in terms of the handling. We saw a couple of accidents from people who you probably wouldn't expect to have had the accidents they did. Perhaps the new regulations will play into his favour. We've done some lobbies with him, and he's been quick in a lot of those. I think if he can string the whole race together, then I don't see why not. Obviously, he's on pole here still currently. You get down to 8.5 minutes to go. I expect obviously more runs to come from everybody yet, but yeah, maybe today is the day.
Well, let's quickly go to fitted. I mean, I can see Ravers is still on the soft, so he's obviously, I think he's on another flying run. So we'll see if he improves. Currently done a 30.9, and he does a 30.3. So there you go. I don't know whether he's taken some fuel out of the car or whether he's just been hitting a few apexes. That's a massive
did he qualify? Did he do his first run on the softs, or was he on the medium in his first? I didn't see his.
No, yeah, he was on the softs on the first lap, so he's definitely found some time from somewhere.
So hooked up that corner, whichever corner he was, he made a mistake on last time, and that gives him now 1.2 seconds over second place.
Yeah, well, he takes his back out on the softs as well.
Queuing to get into his pit box. As Bratton goes in as well. So just 2 now to set a time with Lennon out on track. Just waiting for Co-Andy to come back onto circuit. Apparently his internet has decided it doesn't like France and he should be back in a moment, so we're just waiting for him to rejoin the session.
Let's go on board with T1000 Zach for the rest of his lap. Currently on the straight, the RS Open. Down towards, you consider probably the hardest braking point, I would imagine.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool, neat and tidy, putting a curve on the exit of the chicane.
Seemed quite smooth. Got a car up ahead, I'm not entirely sure who that was.
One of the Red Bulls. It is F3. I think he's far enough ahead of Zach to not cause him any issues. Oh, big moment there off the curb.
Tricky corner this one he's going through. Oh yeah, there we go. He always got a bit of a snap on the exit.
Without, yeah, those running without assists are going to be catching a few of those, I think, in this race.
Goes down to first gear for that last corner, which is interesting. I guess it depends on your setup. And he's having a lot of... he lost his ERS there towards the end. I can't think of the word. It'll come to me eventually. But his ERS wasn't working towards the end of that race, so it's probably lost him 10th or 2.
Same but improved now, running P4, so that's a strong place to start. Let's just pop ahead of Panda and his teammate. Let's go around, he's back in the session now, so expect him out on track shortly. Needs to hurry up and get a lap in.
F3's gone out of the way, is Zach, I think.
I don't think Zach is going to do another lap here.
A stupid pit lane sound. So we've only 5 minutes left. Got quite a lot of drivers in the pit lane at the moment. Everybody playing it quite calmly. Everybody's being a bit patient.
Indeed, is Co-Andy and McLaren out on the track.
First couple of laps for him out on the mediums. Lennon just left his
Mercedes as well.
Yeah. Oh no, it was Mercedes. Yeah, Lennon's still in there. Okay, yeah. That was just me being stupid. So Wiltix is about to finish his second lap. Is he going to pit? Yeah, he's going to pit. Okay. That's it. Nobody else. Oh no, we've got Bran out on track. That's the only guy.
Bran out and Co-Andy out. So on the right laps, get some heat into the tyres. Co-Andy out on the mediums. And Bran also on the mediums as well.
Now, interestingly enough, Aaron, obviously, like I say, taking a quali ban and should technically be starting last. However, if these guys don't set a time, he won't be starting last.
This is true. This is true. I think if Co-Andy completes his outlap, that should put him ahead of him, and I think Lennon's done a lap of it. But yeah, so it's still showing sure Aaron as P12
at some point.
But yeah, I imagine Lennon will be out shortly. I think he's just complaining his car was a bit twitchy on his first lap, so maybe he aborted his first run and will be able to get in shortly.
Yeah, and he's called that one off as well, going through turns 1 and 2. Obviously not happy with it unless he
get a bit of
cut the corner.
Bit of a moment, I think. Perhaps, yes, perhaps.
A lot of cars coming out the pit lane. Looks like 2 Ferraris.
Yeah, Mercedes of Dutch Trucks is out as well. Panda out in the other Haas. CJ in the Red Bull. Out comes F3, his teammate as well, in the other Red Bull.
I wonder if the Ferraris are trying to give each other a bit of a tow.
Are they running close together, are they? Yeah, indeed, so yes. Excellent teamwork last week, even though they were racing each other hard and fair between the two of them. And yes, they could be giving us a tow. Obviously, I'm just on the outlap at the moment, so let's see if they stay close together for the duration of laps.
Everybody out on the mediums now as well.
Yeah, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense to try and get each other a tow with TK goes straight over at the chicane. I think he just missed his braking point there. Is he going to let... No, Zach is going to stay in behind him, so maybe they are going to start running in formation. Although you'd think
just
they'd probably end up holding each other up. But,
go on board with Panda. Nope, never mind, he's just invalidated.
Yeah. So very easy to do around here, a lot of low curbs, especially that first couple of corners.
I think Brand's invalidated at some point as well because he is currently in the lowest setting on ERS, so clearly not pushing. F3 is about to start his lap.
Andy started a second one, and yes, he's carrying on with this one, so this could be the one. So Lennon joins the track as well. Now he's leaving it very tight. Only 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Is he going to make it round? This could be a race to the line in itself.
Yeah, his tyres aren't going to like him by the start of that flying lap. The speed he's going to have to go around to even start it.
Yeah, they're flagging sector 1.
Stay on board with Andy.
And now sector 2. Not seeing anybody off the circuit, but...
A lot of yellows. I don't know if that's just people letting guys
I think so, yeah. I've not seen anybody go off. I think it's just people getting out of the way of people as they come round. So he comes into the final couple of corners. And let's see where this lap puts him.
There's a jump from the Williams. DRS open. Run down to the line. Puts himself P8. That's not a bad time at all.
Pops over the head of Bran as F3 has retired from the session, so maybe F3 was the one that's caused the yellow flags. I didn't see him go off.
Alright, let's try and work out where all these guys are. The Ferraris are about to finish their laps. Zach goes P2. Tico goes P4. Ravers might actually get pole position here.
So yeah, those tricks is off that. We got
he's got a Ferrari.
Not on a hot lap.
Oh no, it's a McLaren. Dutch is retired.
Co-Andy then. As Willie Tix comes around the final corner. Can he improve on P6?
Nope.
No, he can't. Not this time.
Who's next?
Here we got Panda coming towards the end of the lap.
Stick on board with Panda then.
Does he improve on 7th?
Oh,
he goes for
great
5th.
time. Panda again looking very, very strong.
Indeed, indeed. Strong starting place for him. Right, CJ now comes into the lap.
Blue flag pits, onto the podium next then. Currently P11.
He goes up to 10th. Didn't know it's F3. Where's Lennon? He's out the final corner now.
Zach is stopped on track.
Lennon goes up to P8. So gets his 1 lap in, pops himself into the middle of the back.
So Aaron will now start at the back with his qualifying. Zach is somehow still driving around. I don't know why the game hasn't... There we go.
There we go. It's gone now. So that appears to be it, and it is a Raver's Revenge on pole position.
Out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, well, clearly he's liking France this season. So, boys, those are on the stream watching. Let us know your predictions for the podium. I imagine we're going to get a lot of Ravers for the win in this. What's your thoughts, Jay? Where do you think? What do you think will be the top 3 in this one, then?
Yeah, I mean, as much as it, as much as it's funny that Ravers has got Paul, it must be said he's on the fastest tyre. He's going to struggle a lot, I think, with everybody behind him being on the mediums other than Willie Tix. But I don't know, if Ravers can get away, those soft tyres are going to be quite quick at the start. So if he can just avoid battles and hope everybody behind him gets in a battle, I think he might be able to sneak a podium. Maybe. I'm gonna say Ravers P3 because I think those softs will lose him quite a bit of time. But then I'm gonna go Zach with a win, and I'm gonna go Dutch with a P2 on his return.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, I think some people have been saying in the chat that the softs will last a little bit longer around here than they did around Bahrain, so it is possible to do the one-stopper with the softs. But then we saw last week how good Tico did on the softs, making them work on the one-stopper.
Yeah, I mean, he took them, what, 9 laps? 10 laps?
9 laps, I think. 9 laps was probably about as far as they were going to go. I think when I was doing a practice session, bearing in mind you're starting on a full fuel load as well, and having done a qualifying lap on them, mine were completely shot. So, so to get them to lap 9 was, a brilliant job by TK that time out. So I'm going to go for Zach for the win from Dutch, and I'm going to Panda third. I think Ravers is just going to miss out, but definitely a top 5. But yeah, I'm going to go Zach, Dutch, and Panda for my top 3.
Okay, fantastic. Do you want to take us through the formation lap, or do you want me to do it?
So, yep, so off we go then, and it is Ravers Revenge on pole for Alfa Romeo. Right behind him, though, the 2 most recent series champs, Zach alongside him in the Ferrari, winner last time out, and the returning Dutch Tricks in the Mercedes. He's starting 3rd, right behind Ravers. 4th, 2nd Ferrari, last time pole sitter at Bahrain, Tico, with Panda behind him in 5th. CJ in the leading Red Bull 6th, with Willie Tix behind him in the Toro Rosso. Lennon lines up P8 for Racing Point ahead of Coandy, with Bran in the other Mercedes down in 10th, ahead of onto the podium. F3 in 12th in the second of the Red Bulls, Blue Flag in 13th, and Aaron bringing up the rear after his qualifying ban.
Yeah, and starting on a hard tyre.
Starting on a hard tyre, so he's going to run long.
Yeah. Open to
ahead of him, we've got Blue Flag on the mediums, F3's on the mediums as well. So yeah, I think I've got a lot of guys around him on the mediums. So yeah, so that alternate strategy for Aaron, that could.
Brandt is on the hard tyre as well in P10, so managed to sneak in there.
Oh dear me! There's had a bit of a moment there.
That was quick reactions from Brandt. I'm not sure. I think it was the Force India that slowed down. That caught out Andy. It was just sort of a knock-on effect, I think. That was.
Everybody seems to.
That was close.
Got around with the wings intact.
Yeah. I mean, does it actually give you damage on the formation? Is that a thing? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I've never tried it.
I've never seen it. I don't really want to try it. I got damage last time out, so I don't want to repeat.
Well, while everybody lines up, we've got Pagani with a Panda to win, Dutch 2nd, Zach 3rd. Donzo congratulating Ravers on his pole. Katamise has gone Dutch with a win, Tico 2nd, Zach 3rd, and 14th onto the podium. That's a bit harsh. Right.
Well, he did say he wanted to retire early, so he could watch the race.
That's true. Here we go.
So here we go.
4 red lights.
3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and round 2 is go.
Boom. Here we go. Zach looks like he's got a pretty average
Ferraris.
start. Ravers has got a pretty good
Dutch has bogged down a little bit, I think.
into turn 1.
Ravers holds it into turn 1. Dutch now on the attack of Tico. Side by side for 3rd. Tico's got the inside. And he takes 3rd place from Dutch.
Yeah.
Panda running a little deep behind there, battling with Willie Tix, who's ahead of CJ. Oh dear. Aaron already up 2 places into 12th as well from 14th.
CJ might have a run on landing it. Down into the
Lost the place to him at the start, so he's going to get it back into the chicane. His teammate in his slipstream as well. He ducks in behind the racing points. Oh, that was close.
Oh, the teammates have touched. Red Bulls have come together. I think F3 has let CJ get back in front.
Now Brown's got to run on F3 to the inside.
Oh, do you know what?
Squeezing him hard and ran the outside. That was
that looked
hard
exactly
racing
like
on
the Ricky
lap
Hardo
here.
move.
And
on,
now he comes
on
onto
Norris.
the podium.
Yeah, onto
He's
the
had a
podium.
slide. Gathers it all up. No, Aaron's haven't. What's happened to Aaron? Back down to 14th. I think he's either run wide or has he had a moment?
Has he lost some wing? His wing looks okay.
Looks okay. Didn't see what happened to him there.
Has he got a puncher? I'm not sure. Why is he so far behind?
I think he's been off the circuit, so I don't know where. He was running in 12th and then didn't see what happened.
Maybe he had a connection with onto the podium. Maybe that's what sent him into the back of.
Don't know. Maybe. Yeah. So we had Brown F3 there, so maybe it concertinaed up a little bit. I'll have to find out from Aaron at the end of the race. Back to the front, and it is still Ravers leading. So 1 lap in the book, and he is our leader. But the Ferrari starting to look menacing behind him. We've got 5 breaking away as Dutch and Panda forming a 5-car train for the lead.
Yeah, Ravers really needs to press on now. He needs to forget about who's behind him. Forget about the names. Just keep his head down and get out of that DRS before it's activated, because his tyres are going to keep falling off, and if he can't get out of that DRS zone quickly while his tyres are still relatively fresh, then he's going to have big problems to those guys behind, I think.
Yep, so he's getting up to 8/10, so he's not far away from getting out of DRS range, but if anybody's going to keep him in DRS range, it's going to be our reigning champion. However, behind him, Tico and Dutch, just a cigarette paper between the pair of them. Dutch starting to get racy. He wants to get past Tico as soon as he can. Is Tico going to act as a rear gunner? Or is it too early in the season to...
I was just about to say that. I was about to say how important it probably was for Tico to get past Dutch, because he acts as that little barrier then to the defending champion. I'm sure between them they want to stop Dutch getting that title back, so...
Indeed, so fastest lap's Ravers put the fastest lap. Zach followed him over, and then Dutch at the fastest lap out of everybody out as they all cross the line, and it's concertinaing up again now as DRS should be enabled, and Zach is right there on Ravers' tail. So are we going to see an overtake into the chicane? Wing pops open.
Closing. Not closing as quickly as I thought he would. So Ravers is obviously running a more of a straight line setup compared to Zach, but he's so much closer now with that DRS.
He's having a run. He's got a run here. He's got a good exit out of that chicane, but he's not going to throw it at the inside. It's not really an over. You've got to be brave to stick it at the inside there.
Yeah, I mean, he probably knows Ravers has to pit soon, so he doesn't want to probably risk too much.
Indeed, I think
we might have a look up the inside, though.
Goes. Bit of contact.
That is a great move.
Onto side pods, but that's a good move.
Cracking move by the defending champion. A little bit of contact, but when you're racing wheel to wheel, that's going to happen. Yeah, that's, you know, it's racing.
Oh, Dutch always to the back of Tico, and Tico into the back of Ravers, I think, there. Now almost at tail.
Yeah, so I think Ravers is going to start falling back a little bit now.
So I think Pagani reckons maybe go lap 5 or 6 before getting rid.
Tico's all over the back of him already. Might try and have a look up the inside. That's another fantastic move by the Ferrari. Ravers is falling back rapidly now, and he's got a 2-time champion behind him now.
See already how quickly Zach is disappearing away as Dutch straight away.
that was close. DRS open though for both of them, so now it's just a matter of setups.
Ravers, yeah, like you say, Ravers in a straight line is quicker.
Dutch brakes so much later though. Great move by Dutch.
Great overtake, and now Panda right behind him as well.
Yeah.
But it isn't over yet. Ravers coming back at Dutch to the outside.
Oh.
Thinks better of it.
Yeah, he looked a little bit uneasy through that corner there, Ravers. I think his tyres are definitely falling off.
Indeed, a little bit. So are we going to see him pit this lap, or is he going to go one more? It's Pagani's predicted. Then go onto the hards behind them. At 6th, now we've got Lennon come through into 6th. Ahead of CJ in 7th, who's got Willie Tix behind him, and he's got F3 Bran out onto the
Bran's
podium.
making a
Look at
move.
Bran
F3.
down the inside, but now he's on the outside of F3. Drops back in behind for now.
Yeah, I mean, it must be said, Bran is on the harder tyre. Ravers is in. So there we go. Tyre's obviously not working for him.
Rid of those tyres already.
He's gone onto the hards. So he's going to try and go to the end. And yeah, as I was saying, it's got to be said, Bran is fighting these guys on the harder compounder tyre. So he's not doing too bad at the moment, Bran.
Yeah, I think it's maybe CJ. I mean, is it CJ or Willie Tix is maybe holding off a little bit there, so maybe they're not struggling a little bit perhaps, and that's what's just keeping this pack together.
Yeah, Willie Tix is nearly fallen out of the DRS with CJ, so F3 I would suspect is going to be past him in the next couple of laps. Might even try and move down into the chicane.
Inside. Oh, side by side.
I mean, we know how late Willie Tix can break, so I don't think you're going to beat him at that sort of game.
Penalty there for F3. I think it's just a little bit much curve, but he's got a good run out the chicane this time, and he's up the inside.
I think he'll get the move done yet.
Bran's going for the gap as well.
Willie Tix fighting those tyres as much as he's fighting the cars around him. Oh, Bran got a massive run through there. I think F3 went a little bit wide.
As well.
Yeah, Willie Tix has just lost 3 places in one.
So I think his soft tyres I think are done as well, though. I think he'll maybe dive for pit lane this time around as well.
Yeah, he needs to get himself into that pit. Yeah, look how wide he ran there.
Panda now sets a new fastest lap for 34.7. Yep, he's coming in. Willie Tix is in the pits. That's Bran slipstreaming on F3 into turn 1. Gets for the inside and gets the move done. It's P7 now for Bran. He's making some progress. 3 spots from his starting place.
I don't know, I would have been a little bit more patient if I were Bran, because now F3 is going to have to do... Oh, F3 is going to have to cut the corner. He's going to have to be careful coming back on here.
Ooh. He's in his right place, but straight to the back of Bran.
Yeah. And onto the podium, he's going to have a little bit of a run in here. Onto the podium, he's actually just picked up a penalty for multiple corner cuts.
Oh.
Oh, F3's gone for a massive move.
Oh, that was a send, and Bran has to go through the chicane.
Yeah, that's
a little bit ambitious, that one. I think Bran got away with it there in terms of front wing, as did F3, who's now got onto the podium up the inside of him.
So Bran's lost the place off
Bran. He's now going to lose it up the podium, and Bran back up the inside of him as well. Ooh,
I think F3's going to give this up, ease it up.
And squeezing him. Bit of side up, wheel to wheel contact again.
Oh, Bran's had to go off
the circuit again. I'll have to give that place back, I'm sure.
Yeah, surely the game will count that as an illegal overtake. He was off track.
Oh dear,
wheel again a bit feisty, these guys.
Oh, these guys need to keep. Oh dear, these boys need to keep your head a little bit here, boys. Everybody's still pointing in the right direction. All carbon fibre pieces still attached.
Yeah, boy flag.
Put blue flag right into this battle now as well. Have a look back at the front, and it's flying formation, much as it was last week. Zach and Tico nose to tail, just half a second between them, but they've got rid of Dutch Tick to the tune of about 2 seconds. So, they're going to be another
Dutch is trying to still catch up to speed, but I'm going to stay on board with these guys because, yeah.
Bran does F3 again on the DRS.
So Bran gets the move done fairly. Just like they were hitting out at each other on that last lap, which we don't want to see in FTRL. No. Definitely not. So
So
hopefully
you're
that
both
gets
brave in
sorted.
F1 as well because there's so many parts you can just lose off your car. It's not like GT Sport where it doesn't matter if you bang door panels because there's nothing to break off. Here, unfortunately, if you have side-on contact like that, you lose your wing, you lose a wheel, and that is your race done. So seems they've settled down again now though. Brand's got ahead and pulled a bit of a gap. We're going to see him start to pull away now. Go back after onto the podium. He's got 1.5 seconds to close down.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't see any more of that. Hopefully none of them got any damage from that. So, Tico's, like I said, still on the back of his teammate. I wonder if he's just playing the Bahrain sort of mind games again, where Tico's probably more than happy sitting behind Zach early on in the race, saving everything up, and then attack each other like we had last week. Panda is right on the back of Dutch here though.
Indeed, he's looking, he's going to go for the move into the chicane. He's thinking about it, showing his nose.
Yep,
But I think better of it this time.
Wayne Dutch know he's there. I think this is the closest battle we have on track at the moment. Although Blue Flag is still quite close to the back of F3.
More Ravers closing in on the back of Aaron as well. They stopped both of them on the hards. Obviously Ravers tyres 4 laps newer. Obviously Aaron's race compromised by whatever off he had on the opening lap.
Yeah,
go back a little bit.
Sure we'll get clarification on that at the end of the race.
Oh, massive
moment from Dutch out of the final corner, and that has allowed Panda to have a huge run into turn 1. He's going to go up the inside of the 2-time champion. There's not much Dutch can do against that.
Gets it done. Good move by Panda. Can Dutch respond, or will he now just sit in behind him for a couple of laps?
Yeah, build everything back up. Probably had to use quite a bit of ERS and fuel, I would imagine, trying to stay in front of Panda for the last couple of laps.
No, he's still on 78%, so in fact he's currently running well he's put it on now, he's on to overtake, so he's fancying a move back on Panda here as they head down towards the chicane. Panda also on the boost. I think he's just done enough to stay ahead.
Yeah.
Dutch
Panda looks very
move.
quick in a straight line.
Yeah,
he goes quite close to the back of his teammate now. When are we expecting the medium tyre in?
It's a good
14,
question.
15?
What we see left? We saw about 12, 13 laps at Bahrain, didn't we? So I think it's feasible they could possibly go maybe half distance. It's only 27 laps, so yeah, maybe lap 11 or 12. You probably want to run on this tyre as long as you can do, as long as it's still competitive and still churning out good times. So yeah, maybe 12, 13 for that one, and maybe trying a little bit longer on the hard, but we shall see. Obviously the two Ferraris will have to split their strategy because they don't want to be coming in together. As Tico now getting very racy.
Oh yeah, right up onto the gearbox of his teammate.
But we saw this last week, and they were close, but they were fair with each other. They gave each other plenty of room. No contact last week, and so far more of the same.
And at least this week we have the knowledge that they'll be in a party together, so they're definitely communicating. They know what each other's doing.
Just drop back a little bit now. I don't think he's going to be close enough to try and just chicane this lap.
Yeah, I think when he drops back, he turns everything up. Gets close again, turns everything back down. So he's definitely playing the patient game, is Tico.
They both of them. I say Zach is using quite a lot of ERS. He's currently down on 10% at the moment.
Dutch still can't find his way past the Haas.
25.
Yeah, well, Brown is on the back of onto the podium.
Gap now between the lead 2 and the second pairing, nearly 4 seconds, so Panda not taking any time out of the Ferraris just yet. He's still obviously worried about having Dutch filling his mirrors. Obviously within half a second still, he's obviously got to worry about DRS, so We shall see now he's got some clear track. Can he do anything about those two flying, prancing horses out of the lead? As Zach in the pits. So Zach is pitting at the end of lap 10 and Dutch as well.
Wow.
So first to blink.
So odds to the end for these guys then.
So Tico was looking quick. That's now released him. Can he set however many more laps he's going to stay out on these tyres? A couple of hot laps and get himself ahead of Zach before he pits. Zach has come back out. Just coming out into the battle. Oh, blue flag having to avoid Zach coming out of the pits.
It's a bit of a dodgy pit exit at France because you come out right onto the racing line. It's not helpful.
He's going straight on the attack, trying to make sure to get past blue flag. He gets it done. Obviously, he doesn't want to lose time in traffic.
Yeah, that's a great move by Zach. Nice and clean.
It's obviously going to be critical to his race now. Tico's got clear track. So I think he'll probably relay this back information-wise in terms of where he's come out as well. He's straight onto the back.
Great run on F3.
Good run on F3, but had to swerve out there to avoid him. I think he might have lost some of his momentum. No, he's got it done already. DRS, ERS.
Zach is cutting his way through the traffic. Meanwhile, Tico isn't actually pushing on his in lap if he is pitting this lap. So I think Zach might just about get back ahead here.
We shall see. Does he pit this time?
Yep.
He does.
Tico's
so
in.
following his teammate in 1 lap later.
I wonder if Panda, Panda pits as well.
Panda as well. So just 11 laps, 10-11 laps for the mediums here.
So where's Zach? Zach is about to reach the final corner. So
Throwing his way just in front of Panda.
Lennon is in as well. So Bran will inherit the lead. Obviously still on the hards.
Right. So here we go. Then Zach at the final corner. Tico coming down pit lane.
It's going to be close. Zach's got him.
Oh, didn't quite work out for him, and it's status quo as you were.
I think Tico not pushing on the in lap is what cost him there. Because I mean, look how close they are. If Tico had just turned everything up on the in lap, he might have just got out in front.
Indeed, as Andy just sent it down the inside of blue flag. So takes P5. Dutch has come out behind those pairing. He's now starting to close up on them. Panda has come out behind Dutch again, and so Dutch's outlap has seen him leapfrog Panda back into what will be a net third place after the pit stops. Currently running 7th and 8th, with the Ravers just tucked in behind them now to 2.6 seconds.
Aaron out to P10, obviously still to pit on those hards.
So he has been saying he's not a fan of this circuit, so I think he's just getting the mileage in.
Oh, Dutch.
Hopefully his season will start in earnest next time out at Baku.
Dutch is struggling with where to put the car at the minute. Clearly faster than these guys in front.
But when people are battling, it's for position, so they don't have to let him through. Thought about it. Thought better of it.
Trying everything he can. It might go around the outside of the Sabre here.
This is bringing Panda right back into it as into the pits comes F3. Dutch should get this done in turn 1 on the brakes. And he does.
Oh, that sent blue flag.
Yeah, blue flag off the circuit and Panda around the outside as well. Well, that has all brought Panda right back onto Dutch's tail. Meanwhile, the Ferraris have caught Bran. They're obviously running long on the first stint.
These Ferrari boys are looking extremely strong. I think it's going to take quite a lot to stop these guys this season.
Yes, very much so. Not quite close enough to get Bran into the chicane, but I don't think it's going to be long.
Wouldn't like to be Bran right now.
Well, obviously he's scored a podium last week. Distant third to these two. Gone for a different strategy this time. I'll obviously have to see where he pans out. So obviously he's going to be quicker at the end. But is he going to play the team gain here? Is he going to try and back these two up for a little bit, see if he can Dutch in? Now Dutch has cleared Co-Andy for 4.
Great move on Andy, up the inside.
Got a car between himself and Panda as well, so open the gap up while Panda finds his way through. Zach to the inside and Brown at the final corner and retakes first place. And his teammates
Tico's
straight
having a look in the
into
wrong.
DRS. In fact, they've both got DRS as well. Brand's still in the mix here though. Zach cuts across in front of Brand, Tico to the outside.
Ooh, Brand
Ferrari's
locks up
going
a
to go
little
side
bit.
by side.
Trying to avoid contact and go straight across the corner.
So Brand fighting it, but the inevitable fresh tyres on the Ferraris see them leapfrog back into first and second. Now can they
still with them
pairing
though.
act again?
Might be able to have a look into the chicane if we can stay close enough for the DRS.
I think I'll get DRS, but I think he's already too far back.
Yeah.
So we see you need to be within maybe 2 or 3 tenths of a second to be with the shot now. And obviously Zach going defensive there. And Tico. And that's compromised his entrance into the chicane. Is Tico going to get a run out here? Be close enough. Brand's still with them as well. As you were. The Alfa Romeo is now together in 6th and 7th. Blue flag ahead of Ravers.
Panda's caught back up to the Mercedes.
Everybody else starting to spread out a little bit now. We've got Aaron on the tail of Lennon. But Lennon on fresh tyres. I expect him to pull away as through the twisty parts of the circuit.
Yeah, it's 2 by 2 at the front, apart from Panda. Out there by himself. Boy flag is into the pits, so Ravers up into P6. I'll put Aaron up to P8. Obviously, still to stop. Bran has got to stop as well.
He's falling off the back now. You can see he's out of DRS range already. Ferrari's going to go at it again. I think he goes too far back this lap though. Close in by the time they get to the chicane, but not close enough to have a look.
Look at the closing speed under braking Tico has though.
I think a couple of tenths off it again and see if he can get that close out of the corner before that. Then he might be close enough to have a go, but if you're over half a second back, I think you're just too far back by the time you get to the end of the straight to be looking to go up the inside. Especially on your teammate, you're not going to want to make a rash move. So these two ran in tandem so well last week and so far this week. There's no reason to think they're not going to do the same again. Right now,
F3's lost connection. Yeah, lagged out unfortunately. But yeah,
car's going around, so hopefully he can get back in.
like last week, the Ferrari's are the closest battle we have, other than Dutch and Panda, for this final podium position. Well, Bran is in, so Dutch will inherit 3rd place, Panda up to P4, and the fight for the podium is on.
So Panda's got it all to do again. Obviously last time benefited from a mistake from Dutch. Can he force another one and take P3 back again?
Aaron is in the pit as well.
So the hard's going to lap 16.
Where's Aaron going to come out? Andy is passing the pit lane now. Aaron's just left his pit box. Bully flag is coming down the pit straight as well. So it's going to be P12.
Change for the lead. Change for the lead. Tico hits the front. Got it done this time. Gets the ERS to hot mode as well. He's trying to keep his teammate at bay. I think they're both going for it here though. Battle is on.
Oh.
So, Tico out to avenge last week. He led the early part of the race until Zach, who ran a little bit longer on the mediums and had fresher tyres, just pipped him and then just managed to fend him off. This time it is Tico coming back with a lap fresher tyres.
Yeah, both of these guys saving the RS at the moment. Both of them are pushing now. I think Zach's going to be a bit too far back, so you make the move into turn 1.
So he pulled straight out of the slipstream there, so he didn't go for the slipstream straight away. Ooh, and a Tico gets a time penalty there.
Time penalty.
That could be crucial.
That could be huge.
That could decide this race, because now Zach just has to sit behind him. He doesn't need to worry about overtaking him, and he will win this race.
A time penalty, or a penalty deciding a race? I blame the stewards. Actually, nah, it's Lewis Hamilton's fault.
Pirro. Damn you.
Lewis Hamilton's fault.
Oh, Ericsson hit us.
Zach way too far back on this lap. I suspect it will stay that way for the next couple of laps now.
So like I say, if he should have, well, he'd seen that, he would have seen that penalty pop up, wouldn't he? So
I don't know. I don't think other penalties for other drivers actually pop up.
So well, unless Tico's going to communicate that to him in the chat. So maybe Zach now will just sit in behind him for the rest of the race, and we shall see. But that's obviously just taking a little bit of the edge out of this fight.
Yeah, they're probably. I mean, I would imagine they've probably agreed to not fight for the rest of the race. That way, Dutch can't jump either of them.
Great scrap going on for 7th place. CJ, Willie Tix and Brand have got themselves together. Willie Tix just being mugged for 2 places again, as CJ and Brand both doing. There's Brand versus the Red Bull Part 2.
Panda
this time
right
it's CJ
on the back
fighting.
of Dutch now as well. Couldn't get him into turn 1. Brand might have a look into turn 1 here though on the Red Bull.
Red Bull getting good traction there, I think he fired up the ERS. No, surprisingly not, he's just on the medium.
A little bit too far back for Brand.
And I think it's too far back as they head onto the back straight. He'll get DRS, but he's not close enough to send it this lap. And Zach continuing to follow his teammate, who runs a bit wide there, and he's got a run here, so he might actually have a pop.
I think Zach will just stay behind now for the rest of the race. I don't think those guys will try and fight each other.
Yeah, so what they've got enough of an advantage over Dutch and Panda behind them, there's probably no point in battling. You may as well just let Tico lead them home. As Panda goes a little deep there. It's cost him a couple of tenths.
Oh.
Yellow flag out
onto the podium.
2.
Try and go on board with F3. I don't know how far back F3 is. But we'll have oh, there we go. There is the Williams in the wall on the right hand side, just before the DRS straight. So he's obviously lost a little bit of traction.
Very easily done. Off we get on the curbs. That can be a little bit slippery. And amongst all that, we've missed Brand taking 7th from CJ, and he's starting to pull away. Is
Panda's picked up a penalty, so that might decide the podium.
Crucial now for Panda to get a move done on Dutch and see if he can pull away.
Oh, World 6 struggling into turn 1. Gaps are opening now, and unfortunately with the penalties the battles at the front are a little bit less exciting.
Indeed, Raver's back into P5. He's got 3 seconds over Lennon, so he's comfortable currently, but it's obviously on all the tyres. Oh, but he's retired.
How has he done that?
Oh, he's in the wall on the outside as well as he
how's he
clipped the curb and had a slide. Maybe.
I mean, that's impressive. So that will put blue flag into the final points positions, and Aaron is right on his tail here. That final point, Aaron might have a look up the inside of the chicane, decides not to on his fellow admin.
Trying to put the frighteners on him. What's the difference in compounds? Blue flag on the hard, Aaron on the medium. You'd expect him to get it done sooner or later on fresher tyres.
getting through there. He's getting,
Aaron coming in hot there.
Very close. Might have a look around the outside, maybe. Nope.
He's getting close at the front again. Panda within 2/10 of Dutch. If he can stay there onto the back straight, this could be his opportunity.
I'm on board with that one.
Yes, stays within 4/10. This could be the one. This could be the lap. He's definitely close enough this time. DRS is open.
And we know Panda is running more straight line speed than Dutch.
He's building, he's building.
Oh,
Just
not close
Dutch
enough.
Just doing enough.
Aaron couldn't find a way past Bully Flag into turn 1 either. So I think he's going to be close enough to get into the chicane though. He's so close at this point. Oh. Here we go. Surely Aaron will get up into the... Oh, he's got a penalty.
Just as the battle starts to get interesting, somebody picks up a time penalty.
He should have the tyres though, yeah. He should have the tyres now to try and pull away from Blue Flag.
Oh, blue flag's at a moment.
Yeah, so that
straight out the corner. That's helped Aaron. That's already got half of his advantages that he needs.
And he's broke out that DRS as well, more importantly, so that's going to save him a couple of laps of pushing. So I would expect Aaron now to build another second and a half over the next 6 or so laps. Meanwhile, Zach is still hovering around the back of his teammate.
Yeah, I think it is now just a case of follow the leader and pick up my second victory.
Panda
going in again. Panda's,
yeah,
he's within 4/10 again, so he's definitely close enough. Up to
Here
3.
we go.
Not got much ERS, but he's this time definitely.
Yeah.
Gotta send it this time. Down the inside, is Dutch going to fight around the outside?
Dutch
He
is holding it.
Holds it tight on the exit as well. Doesn't let Panda. Gets a good exit though, side by side, but Panda's on the outside. He's going to try and run it around the outside. Oh, runs out of road again though. Can he switch back to the inside? No, Dutch just covers him off. Great battling between these pair. They have just closed slightly on the Ferraris. It was nearer 6 seconds, it's now under 5. But I still think the Ferraris have probably got it under control.
Panda's fallen back a little bit there. It's through the last couple of corners. DRS still closing back
the straight, pull himself up again and then have another go down the back straight again. Needs to be within 44/10 going onto the back straight, I think, to be realistically in with a chance of making a move.
I mean, Dutch has only got fresher tyres by a lap, so Dutch must just feel a bit more comfortable on these tyres at the moment. Yeah, Panda is further back on this lap. Couple of mistakes through sector 1 I think has just let Panda down a little bit there.
Battle starting to develop for P5. Lennon now within 1.7 seconds of Ravers. Obviously Ravers pitted early, so he's on old hards. Lennon on newer hard tyres, starting to close him down.
Aaron has opened up that 3-second gap he needed as well on Bully Flag for the last points position, so it's looking pretty much nailed on there, unless he has a couple of penalties we're not aware of.
So Bran hasn't really dropped CJ as much as I thought he would do. Only 1.3 seconds in it, so CJ's not out of this battle yet. Bran, I think he would have hoped to have been trying to close down on Lennon and Ravers on the medium compound, but still not shaking off the advances of the Red Bull. Coandy, a bit of a lonely race for him currently. 10 seconds back from CJ and 7.5 seconds clear of Aaron. We like to say is now drop blue flag to the tune of 5 seconds. And the ghost car of F3 cruising around in 12. In fact, he's just about to be lapped by the Ferraris, who are nose to tail.
Panda looks
flying formation.
a lot closer. If we can get a good run through these next few corners,
I say, well, do you want to win it on track? Does it really matter? He knows he's going to win the race, but obviously if he picks for a penalty, then it changes everything.
Well, he's going to go for the move.
Get about it.
Oh,
Ooh.
bit of a moment from Zach. A little bit too close. Panda couldn't quite get the move done either.
Still raging.
Now, even if it's a ghost car, will Tico still... Oh, never mind, they've got past him already. I was going to say, will Tico get the DRS from F3? I think he probably still would, wouldn't he?
I think you would do, yeah. If he'd have gotten the DRS, then you pick up the DRS. And then obviously you just drive straight through them. Saves you having to go round. Saves you having to go round, just like real life.
Oh, Zach might have a look up the inside.
Ooh. I think he wants to win this on the road, doesn't he? He's definitely close to the...
Oh, my Tico's going to make him go off.
And
now Zach has a penalty.
That now opens his battle up again. Right, battle's on. Zach to the outside.
Here we go.
Alright, we're back on for the lead.
Well, now Zach has to get past. Zach should have been patient.
So yeah, he did not need to be making those moves, and now it's cost him a 3-second penalty, and now we are reset to 0. Close enough for a go down the back straight though.
Yeah, Zach
slightly
has
tighter
been
line.
massively saving his ERS, and I think we'll try and have a go into the chicane.
So much more, and Graham picks up a 3-second penalty there, and that will drop him back behind CJ.
He isn't turning it up though, interestingly enough. He stayed in none all the way down that straight.
Save it maybe, because I know Tico's only got 14 and he's only on low. So let's say he's not really, he's up high now. He's expecting an attack there that didn't come. Ravers has now got Lennon within DRS range for 5th. 8 tenths between those two.
Panda's still struggling to get past Dutch.
Bram slowly closing up on the back of them, but not taking enough time out of them yet to worry Lennon. It's still with CJ 1.3 seconds back.
Zach might have a look into turn 1 here. Just needs to get a good run through the final corner. Tico
Maybe
got
the
up.
harmony has been broken, and Panda looked very close as well coming out of the final corner. He is, so you watch the Ferraris, I'm going to watch Panda's battle with Dutch.
Zach didn't get the move done. Panda doesn't look close enough either.
He had a look, just showed him the nose, so if he can try to get a mistake out of Zach, Dutch again.
Well, a quick look at this battle between Ravers and Lennon. Lennon way too far back to make a move into turn 1, so that might open up again on the back straight.
3 laps to go now.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Lennon with a penalty. We should
there,
just stop talking about things. Let's just sit here in silence and nobody will get a penalty.
Let's not talk about the battles. Let's just watch. Let's watch Aaron and Blue Flag and F3. Let's watch F3 go round. That'll probably be that's the only way we can. No, oh, Panda's got it done. Panda's got it done this time. Through he goes.
Oh, there we go. So now he just has to pull away.
Yeah, 3 seconds, second a lap, done. However, when you've got a 2-time series champion behind you, that's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world to achieve. Already touched on the attack on the outside.
Trying to overtake you. Oh, look at that.
Is he going to go all there on the outside? Is Panda going to run him out of road? Oh, that is brilliant from Dutch. Absolutely brilliant for the pair of them, in fact. Panda trying to hang around the outside again, giving each other room.
Guys, fair play.
Great respect.
Wow.
Still side by side.
Yeah, still side by side.
Panda seeds now.
4 corners side by side. Not even a little bit of contact.
I thought Panda had that one done there. I think Panda probably thought he had that done. Nice, man. Like you say, fantastic racing. Ferrari, still as you were.
Yeah. In the midst of all that, Lennon has got past Ravers for P5. And
but obviously
Zach
we just saw him
still can't
pick
get
up that
past.
penalty, so
Yeah.
Ravers just needs to hang on to his tail, and he will reclaim P5 at the flag as they go past.
Now Zach
F3.
is still saving his ERS. He's on push now. I was thinking maybe he's going to try and save it for the last lap, but he might try and have a go now. He's not trying to get the slipstream, so maybe he is going to save it for the last lap and give Tico no opportunity to get back past.
You're a man who knows everything about a last lap overtake, aren't you?
Don't mention that. Pagani is still not very happy about that.
2 overtakes between the whole race, and the definitive one on the last lap. So yes, did he watch your race last week, and is he following your plan? Save up the ERS and then just max it out on the last lap. He's down to 72%, so maybe he won't go for the whole lap, but Tico's only got 22, so it'd be enough.
Dutch has got back past Panda. Here we go then. Onto the last lap.
Final lap. Here we go.
DRS open.
Close enough? I don't think he's close enough. He was probably too far back. Tico got a better run out the final corner.
Yeah, Tico's been getting a better run than Zach out of that final corner all race long. So I think Zach is just trying to set himself up for the straight. He isn't turning his ERS down this time. Zach is pushing.
He's in the attack. He probably doesn't need it in attack mode just yet, though. He's probably just wasting it here, and he doesn't need to be. But yeah, I think it's on this time.
Close. Here we go.
Stay close to him through this corner. Both get reasonable exits.
Yeah.
Tico slightly
is
better.
in overtake.
Is he too far back?
I think
he's too far back.
he is. I think he is.
They're both on 4. Tico's managed to save somebody. Yeah, he's killed him off.
I think Zach's
behind.
left it too late.
Coming. Panda Dutch defends. Panda around the outside.
Oh, bit of contact.
Bang.
They got too close that
As you
time.
were.
Let's go back to the leaders. Tico just about managing to hold on.
Oh, Raver's just picked up a penalty.
CJ's had to cut the corner, and he's come together with Brandt. CJ's round. That might let Kalandi through. I don't know how far Kalandi is, but Tico is about to come round the final corner and take his first win.
Best served French.
So Zach can't win his own Grand Prix, so it's still 1-2 for Ferrari though. Dutch will come home P3 on his first race back. Panda P4. Great race by those guys.
Indeed, Lennon, great job from him, considering he was struggling a bit in qualifying. He's going to take P5, depending on the penalties. We know they've got 1 each.
Yeah, this could be interesting with penalties.
Ravers
jumps in.
On penalties.
So a P5 from Ravers. What a race. Brand comes across the line. In very interesting fashion for a P8.
CJ pips him on penalties.
Yeah, so CJ P7. Kalandi, I think, will stay where he is.
Does, yes.
Aaron will pick up the last point. So, 2 P10s for Aaron so far this season.
Not what you would be hoping for, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
But well, there we are. The French Grand Prix in the bag, and it is Ferrari 1-2.
Again.
However, this time Tico gives it back to the reigning champ. He will take top spot. Again, at least they two provided some fantastic racing again. We thought the race was over after the penalty. However, did Zach get a little bit too eager to win it on the track, and he's cost himself the win.
Well, that's going to be the talking point, I think. I don't know why Zach tried so hard to get it done on track when he knew all he had to do was sit behind him and take the win. But, I mean, you don't become champion by staying behind people on track. Zach wanted to get that move done.
Indeed, he did. I think we'll see in a second as we go through. Dutch. Oh, Zach actually had more penalties.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Anyway, there's final classification. So you got Tico takes the race win. Go on.
So yeah, Tico with the win from Zach, and Dutch in third. In fact, as T. Smith just pointed out in the chat there, only 1.6 seconds away from taking second. So obviously missed that second penalty for Zach. So running out the results, Panda P4. I'm going to be happy with that after what happened last time with Ravers P5. That's things that left on the screen. There we go. And there we
Yeah,
are. So,
Hijack Gaming in the chat saying Zach had an unserved penalty, which is why he was pushing for the overtake, which now looking at it, but at the end makes
that makes
a lot of sense. I mean, why are we sitting here doing this when they clearly know more than us? I don't know. we should get switched around. Anyway, let's get these guys into the party, and we'll get the interviews going. There's Tico. Alright, so we'll just wait for these guys to jump in. Don't know if Zach. I mean, he spoke to us last week, I think, so it should be alright. Yeah,
Good evening.
Good evening.
There's Zach. We're just waiting on Dutch. And there he is. Right. Cool. Right, we'll kick this off then. So, over to you then, Tico. First race win of the season. Another very intriguing battle between you and your teammate. Sum it up for us. How was that overall for you?
Yeah, it was so much fun. At the beginning, I jumped Dutch at the start. That was the key, I think, for the race. And yeah, I stayed behind Zach for a while. I think for the gap between me and Dutch. And then after a while, I tried to attack him. The slipstream and DRS isn't that overpowered this year, so it was difficult. But yeah, at the end, I did it. And the battle at the end, I think lap 24 to 25. It was so much fun and fair play between us.
Yeah, another huge battle. I mean, we weren't aware that Zach had another unserved penalty. So when you guys were fighting on track for the race lead, and Zach picked up that other 3-second penalty, me and we were quite confused about it. I mean, I'm assuming you guys were obviously talking to each other. I'm assuming you were in a party.
Not
again.
No.
Oh, not this.
Okay.
Okay.
I was with Dutch.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that makes it a little bit more interesting then.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel going forward then? You've obviously got the pace. I mean, I've said it to Lee during the race. It's obviously going to take a lot to knock one of you guys off the top step every week. So yeah, confidence building going forward.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. But I made a bit of a mistake in the quali, so that cost me 2 positions, maybe 1. But my pace in the race was good, so I think I can fight for the wins.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's going to take quite a lot to get Ferrari away from 1-2, I think. On to Baku then. Is it Baku next week? Pretty sure it is. How do you feel about that one?
In my career I wasn't very fast there, but maybe the AI is overpowered there, so I don't know. Maybe last year I was pretty fast there, so maybe this year will be the same.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your first win, mate. Very well deserved.
Thank you.
Another great watch.
Thanks.
So Zach, P2 this week. Obviously, with it being your home Grand Prix, there's probably a little bit more desire to win this one than last week. Obviously, we saw another great battle with your teammates. This time, however, he managed to pick you on the track. Obviously, we didn't see the other penalty you picked up. Where did you get the other penalty?
The 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. I'm stupid.
Just the breaking point. Yeah, we weren't aware of that one, unfortunately. We saw obviously Tico pick up his 3-second penalty first, at which point we thought you'd probably just follow him round and obviously win on the countback. But then obviously you suddenly got a little bit racy and then picked up the second penalty, and then it was all gloves off.
Exactly. But if this 5-second penalty ruined my first place chances, because I was having the 0 runnings and I, yeah, I'm just stupid. So
Very,
2 or 3 kph in the pit lane, so that's
very,
fair
very
play
easily done.
to Tico. He was a bit faster than me, I think, today.
But no, that was a great race between you two again. So that's 2 races, 2-1-2s, even with the reigning champ back. Oh, sorry, the previous champ back. Sorry, do apologise.
Oh.
He was no match for you. He was obviously a little bit further adrift. Going into Baku, are you confident it'll be the same again, or do you
Oh, it's
expect
Baku.
it to come back?
Oh, Baku, I'm not really fast, so. But I will try to fight for the win again, but yeah, we will see.
We will see indeed. No, another great race, and thank you two for putting on such a fantastic battle for everybody watching.
Right, Dutch, welcome back. How was your first race back, mate?
Pretty decent, I think. Not too far off the pace. No, I still can find some time after I came back from holiday, of course. So I think after a few more practice races, it's possible that I can get on level of Tico and Zach had like this race. Yeah, they weren't far away, but yeah, I lost some time without the slipstream that I didn't have, and the saving from the ERS was pretty hard today. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with P3 at the end. So not too much damage.
I mean, Tico mentioned it at the start how important it was getting in front of you. Was that something you were thinking about at the start of the race? You know, trying to keep at least one Ferrari behind you.
Yeah, it would have been better for myself, I think. But yeah, I thought after Tico overtook me, yeah, let's stay behind him in the slipstream. And yeah, after a few laps of races, of course, his tires were dead, and I lost a lot of time in that. And with after the pit stop with the Dagmar, the drive-through didn't make a stop, of course, so it cost me a lot of time, and maybe I would have been in the fight with them. But yeah, I also had to manage to keep Panda behind. So.
Well, I was going to come on to that. Yeah, yeah. You didn't quite manage to fight the Ferraris, but one fight that you did have, which we loved, was one with Panda. How was that?
Absolutely amazing.
It was very, very close.
Yeah, I remember one battle in lap 25 after the chicane on the straight. So
we got it all.
Amazing.
we got it all. Wheel to wheel for what was it? 4 or 5 corners all the way through to the pit straight. Yeah,
he watched it back already.
Yeah. I searched for it straight away after the race. Yeah, that was absolutely amazing, and yeah, I could keep Panda behind for most of the race. I think he didn't put much of a fight in and saved his ERS and fuel, I think. And when he tried, I had the feeling I could keep him behind in the braking zone, so it wasn't too hard for a battle. But yeah, it's always costing you time to the cars ahead. So.
Well, it was a superb battle, mate. We very much enjoyed watching that. Same question to you then. Baku next week. Quite a difficult track to come back to, second weekend. But how are you feeling for that one? Have you drove that
Not
one
good,
much?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and France and Baku are one of my shittiest tracks, I think, on the calendar.
Okay.
I always didn't like them, but yeah, everything's possible with the castle section there, so I think anything can happen around there. So.
Fair enough. Right, well, good to have you back, mate. Congratulations on the podium. Yeah, well, that wraps it up, guys. So, we hope you enjoyed it. The Ferraris were battling again, and another fantastic battle a little bit further down the field. Actually, there was pretty good battles all the way up and down, so if you didn't enjoy it, what are you doing here?
What is wrong with you?
But yeah, thank you for watching. Again, over, I mean, I'm looking at it now, nearly 100 comments in the stream, which is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely loving the support this season. Aaron, obviously League owner, is more than happy with the support that we're getting so far. So massive thank you for that, and we hope to see you tomorrow, F2, same time, same track, just different drivers, and hopefully more
Clearly.
podiums for me.
So how are you feeling about tomorrow's show before we go? Are you confident for tomorrow, or...?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. But I think you did it about.
Well, there you go then. I'll keep it on the down low. Yep. Love it. Alright, thank you very much. Bye for now.